slam by Rampage Jackson.
And that's it. That is all she wrote for Herpes right there.
Danielle Taylor throwing some heavy shots and ends the fight. Cutler is out. Insane airplane toss by Charles Krazy.
Landed takedowns. Huge knees, 2 huge knees.
And there she is, Ronda Rousey making her pro debut in excellent fashion. Jamie Colleen just destroying. Cutler says, no more, I'm out. And a quick look at our rules of combat based on 3 5-minute rounds, and of course 5 5-minute rounds for championship bouts. And of course in the amateur division that changed to 3 3-minute rounds, and of course 5 3-minute rounds for championship bouts in the amateur division. It's based on the 10-point must system, judging criteria, and to get things started, we'll go ahead and throw it to the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, Niagara Falls, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the flyweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Steve Ward. Introducing first in the Lucas Oil blue corner. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, official weight 134.2 pounds. He represents top tier MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Samarkand, Uzbekistan, presenting Kazrat Kaz Bigmurodov. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 8 inches tall as well. Official weight 135.8 pounds. He represents WNY MMA and Fitness. Ladies and gentlemen, from Buffalo, New York, presenting Ali, the Prodigy, Rex Hippie. Once again, your referee of this 3-round flyweight bout, Steve Ward, now with the final instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. Remember, this is amateur. There's no elbows allowed, no head kicks. If you're ready, touch gloves now. Back to your corners.
And here we go, round 1. Our first matchup of the evening here at Seneca Niagara Resort Casino. Back for another night of mixed martial arts action. Kazrat in the blue gloves, Ali in the red gloves, and we are immediately standing on the feet. Feel-out process begins.
And Ali lands a solid kick. Both fighters looking very confident in their stand-up.
And Ali just taking center cage, taking his time. As he comes in with a nice push kick, they meet and they clinch up. Oh, trying to pull guard. Ali holding on, trapping those arms. And trying to pull off the high guard here, possibly transition into a triangle, possibly. But really needs to slip that foot underneath that knee, and he's far from that. And both fighters just in the scramble here. And remember, this is an amateur matchup, so it's scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds or less. Tonight's event being brought to you in part by General Tire. Anywhere is possible. And of course, Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world.
Ali definitely showing a little more comfortability in the ground game here. But Kazrat managing to flip him over. Maybe he can improve his positioning here.
Kazrat trying to posture up here. Needs to land some shots, but easier said than done as Ali just continues to hold on and sustain and control the situation.
Really keeping him tight, not letting him do much. I mean, the hits that he are landing are fairly soft, but still gonna rack him some points. Oh. A little attempt at a slam there.
Kazrat with some nice shots from the top. And a little scramble between the two, and they're about to get back on their feet. Ali scrambling to get side control and a nice body shot. Mixing it up with some elbows there.
Ali keeping a solid lock on Kazrat's head, keeping that control, throwing in those body shots. Kazrat's really vulnerable here.
And more shots, just double shots. I've seen that in a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. And it actually worked here. The double punch.
Yeah, those rib shots, belly shots are definitely gonna, Kazrat's gonna be feeling that.
Absolutely. 17 seconds remains. And seems as though Ali tended to control the situation. Kept the aggression up as well.
Continuous body shots, just pounding away.
And that concludes round one. So Ali goes back to his corner. Kazrat goes back to his. Go back to the drawing board and put some things together. But man, what a great job by Ali controlling this, pulling guard immediately in the beginning of this round. And had that high guard, almost worked the triangle, but was able to snap out of it was Kazrat.
Yeah, Ali definitely showing great defense, great offense. Just seemed a little more comfortable this round.
Well, we head off into the next round. Again, these rounds in the amateur division are scheduled for three-minute rounds. And here we go. Outside leg kick for Kazrat. And another one.
Ooh, some heavy hits by Ali. Nice exchange here.
Oh! Totally rocks Ali. Ali again.
Taking some heavy hits.
And now taking the back, trying to go for that takedown. Ali comes up. And now we'll get in the full mounted position. Needs to pop that head out. From this position, it's a lot easier to do. And look at the posture up and deliver some more damage.
Ali getting some time to recover here from taking quite a few of those really heavy hits.
Now looking for the arm bar. Kazrat not giving it up. But 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes in this round, so Ali's got plenty of time to pull this submission off. But Kazrat's making it a stalemate situation at this point.
Oh, seems to be a tap there.
Oh! And that is it. Ali victorious. Comes out with the armbar. Great respect between these two. And Ali will come out with the victories, submission victory, to be exact.
Yeah, sometimes those taps are really hidden, and it gets really dangerous if you can't see your opponent's trying to get you off of them.
Let's take a look at the replay here. Ali comes in, tries to grab that arm, tries to extend it out. A little awkward situation, but ends up getting that submission in sort of an unorthodox fashion.
The tap on the inside leg right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute and 5 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by tap out from an arm bar, Ali, the prodigy, Rex Hippie. Ladies and gentlemen, from the sensational Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, Niagara Falls, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the middleweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Todd Anderson. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 6 feet 4 inches tall, official weight 184.8 pounds. He represents Synthesis Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Leroy, New York, presenting Matt the Berserker Nordstrom. Here's opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner stance at 6'1". Official weight, an even 184 pounds. He represents Modern Vision MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Welland, Ontario, Canada, presenting Anthony Van Dyke. Once again, your referee of this 3-round middleweight bout, Todd Anderson, now with the final instructions.
Gentlemen, we know the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. It's your final reminder, this is an amateur bout. There will be no head kicks and no elbows. Touch gloves, step back.
And here we go, round one between Matt Nordstrom and Anthony Van Dyke here in the middleweight division, 185 pounds to be exact. And here we go. Once again, it's Seneca, Niagara Resort and Casino. One of the wonders of the world when you look at those falls. And man, these fighters immediately just clinching and boxing here. No feel-out process, let's just get down to business.
Some nice explosive reactions. I'm sure the crowd appreciates that. Nordstrom landing some key face strikes.
More shots delivered by Van Nordstrom. Now defending the takedown attempt.
Van Dyke really just taking those hits, though, defending against them.
And now trying to set up that guillotine choke.
Ooh, Van Dyke may be in trouble here.
I think he may have this.
It's not looking good. Is he going to improve his positioning?
And popping his head out. There you go. Van Dyke pulls right out.
Van Dyke looking for any opportunity here to get out of Nordstrom's reach.
And right here, just trying to work that possible triangle. What a scramble it has been for Van Dyke trying to get out of this situation. Van Nordstrom is just, Nordstrom is just continuing to go after attempt, and that just continues to keep Van Dyke guessing.
A little bit of blood here. Looked like someone got split open. Van Dyke working his way to the side.
Nordstrom just very crafty with his submission attempts, but Van Dyke ending up inside control now.
Van Dyke slips in, takes the back, goes for the rear naked.
Yeah, looks like he's about to cinch this deal now, taking the back of Nordstrom.
One turn of events here. Returning those blows back, punishing Nordstrom for earlier in the round.
Now trying to spread him out. Trying to sink those hooks in. Trying to finish. 34 seconds on the clock. Can Van Dyke pull it off? And it looks like he just might.
He's deep.
And that's
There's
it.
the tap.
Great job done.
Van Dyke really turning it around there.
And Van Dyke does it again. Let's take a look at the replay. Go ahead and walk us through this as soon as that replay gets up here. A little bit bloody, but no big deal. Just another day at the office for Van Dyke.
So yeah, Van Dyke early in the round really, taking those hits, as you can see, Nordstrom landing as many as he could. He was really dominating the match. It looked very close with this sinking in and this guillotine choke, but he couldn't quite land it, and Van Dyke was able to turn the tables, mid to late round.
Right here is able to spread him out a bit, start landing a couple shots, soften Nordstrom up. And Van Dyke just sinks in that rear naked choke, finds the opportunity, and that is it. Call it a night. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 2 minutes and 33 seconds of round number one. your winner by tap out from a rear naked choke, Anthony Van Dyke. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, Niagara Falls, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the lightweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Steve Ward. Introducing first, the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, official weight 154.6 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, from Laurel, Indiana, presenting Skyler, the Indiana boy, Parsley. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 8 inches tall, official weight 154.4 pounds. He represents Kinetics Combat Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, from Newfane, New York, presenting Jeremy Stopa. Once again, your referee of this 3-round lightweight bout, Steve Ward, now with the final instructions.
Okay, gents, we run over the rules in the back. I want a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Remember, this is an amateur fight. There's no elbows and no head kicks. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Back to your corners.
And here we go. We are set between Skyler Parsley and Jeremy Stopa. Lightweight division. Here we go. Scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds here in the amateur division. Jeremy Stopa, who is known for his heavy hands. We've seen that in his previous fights. And immediately coming in. Parsley also showing he's got fast hands as well. Stopa shoots in for the takedown, and he gets it immediately.
Parsley trying to keep him tight, trying to keep that defense. Maneuvering up against the fence here. Stopa really trying to dominate that ground game.
King of the Cage president right there, enjoying a night of fights here with us at the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino. Terry Trevilcock Jr., who started King of the Cage here in 1998. One of the longest running independent organizations in the world of MMA today. And Stopa with another takedown. There's nothing gonna Stopa him anytime soon. No pun intended. Okay, pun was intended.
Yeah, Parsley managing to land a few of those strikes to the head, but not before Stopa takes it right back down to the ground.
Yeah, Stopa's a really explosive individual. Like I said, his wrestling ability is absolutely overwhelming for some of his opponents. And right now, Parsley is just holding on, sustaining the situation, making sure there's no room for damage delivered here by Stopa.
Ref will break it up, stand it back up, see if we can get some action going.
Parsley looking to utilize those hands once again. Stopa looking to probably set up another takedown. Clinches in, Parsley trying to break that from happening.
Parsley seems to match Stopa's speed, but the power behind his punches doesn't seem to match.
And another takedown for Stopa. I think he's going to win on takedowns alone in this round. You'd have to give the round to him. Stopa looking to pass that half guard.
Well, Parsley at least keeping a fairly decent defense. He's not letting Stopa land too many heavy strikes, staying clean. Ooh, spoke too soon.
Now Stopa looking to take the rear naked choke. And it looks like he may finish this. 28 seconds on the clock. Can he pull it off?
It's deep.
Parsley taps out. That is it. Stopa with a rear naked choke. Just like that. Man, let's take a quick look at the replay, how that all unfolded.
Stopa really dominating the match with that ground game. All those takedowns, and as soon as it went down to the ground, Stopa just continually looking for that one opportunity to slip in and go for the kill.
Comes in here and he's able to take the back, softens him up. Doesn't even sink in the hooks, basically. Basically half a hook there and is able to pull it off. And Parsley says, I better tap out before I pass out. We throw it to the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the first round. Your winner by tap out via rear naked choke, Jeremy Stopa. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, Niagara Falls, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the light heavyweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Todd Anderson. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, official weight 205.8 pounds. He represents John 316 and 17 Boxing Club. Ladies and gentlemen, from the villages of Florida by way of the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, presenting Alejandro La Máquina Esquilen Santiago. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 6 feet tall, official weight 201.2 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, from Grand Island, New York, presenting Edward Chaos Weiser. Once again, your referee in charge of this light heavyweight contest, Todd Anderson, now with the final instructions.
Gentlemen, we know the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to touch gloves, do so now. Step back to your corner.
And here we go, Alejandro Santiago. The light heavyweight returns here to King of the Cage as he gets set to take on Eddie Weiser. Santiago in the blue gloves and Weiser in the red gloves. Touch of gloves. Alejandro Santiago, who is known for his heavy hands and known for taunting his opponents. And it's always an entertaining taunt. It's not like a cocky taunt or anything like that. It's just fun, good old entertainment. And he'll start doing some dances. Just barely misses that kick of Weiser. Shooting in. And gets the takedown.
Yeah, Santiago, very strong Muay Thai fighter, very good stand-up, you know, like that. But Eddie Weiser, his background is in, well, grappling, wrestling, taking him down. You know, he's really showing some domination here in the ground. Looks like you know, if I'm going to predict something, it seems like Eddie may want to take this to the ground, but Santiago's want to keep it on the stand-up. Yeah,
Santiago known for those heavy hands, and Weiser is being very wise, no pun intended, on this fight, not giving that Santiago a puncher's chance in this. It's taking away the tools that Santiago uses all the time. But let it be known, Santiago's got a great ground game. He just chooses to stand up.
Weiser landing in those occasional elbows.
And Weiser just continuing to work from side control here. Looking to deliver some punishment. A couple of elbows here, possibly. We're here again at Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino. And man, what a breathtaking sights we have around this entire area. A lot of the fighters love coming out here. They get to run, check out the falls, Niagara Falls itself. One of the most incredible sights that you've seen in the world, man. So it's really cool to be back out here. We always appreciate Seneca Niagara Casino out here hosting King of the Cage. Weiser just looking to stay busy. The ref hasn't stood him up yet. He's done enough work, I guess, according to the ref. Now starting to open him up.
Landing those elbows is really going to start stacking up. Really going to start showing some damage as well.
Yeah, man, those are just razor sharp elbows coming at you. And Santiago taking a couple of shots there.
Just keeping the pressure, keeping him irritated. Even if he's not landing a full elbow, he's grinding up. Ooh.
Spinning around in a nice little scramble for these two.
Weiser showing some dominance and positioning here, really managing his weight.
Two minutes remains. And Santiago just trying to fight Weiser off. Easier said than done. Santiago, who's known for his stand-up game and known for his antics, like I said, dancing around, but I'd have to say it's a little more difficult to dance on the ground.
Yeah, Weiser definitely looks like he did some research on his opponent. You know, he's wanting to keep it here. He knows his strong suit. He knows that this is where, if he's going to win it, this is where he's going to do it.
More shots delivered from the half guard. And Weiser just trying to work this old school key lock. And Alejandro, I don't think is going to give that up.
Yeah, Santiago, a very tough guy. You know, you can bend, punch him as many times as you want, bend his limbs. He'll sit there and he'll take it.
It's like every time you see an old school Kimura, you know, and when I say old school, I mean, I don't mean disrespecting that. It always works. It works a lot of the times. But it becomes like an arm wrestling match. You know, who's got more strength in the arm?
He's got the bigger forearms.
And a nice little scramble between these two as Weiser maintains position. And just looking to rain down some elbows. Trying to work another Kimura possibly. Maybe a old school can opener is what they would call that. Just from this position. Okay, here we go. Now we can see it. Alejandro puts him back to the full guard. Great job.
Weiser still going in there, looking like he has a plan for this fight. He's going to keep it on the ground, going to keep dropping those elbows. Looks like he's just going to try to rack as many points as he can. We'll see how they fare in round two.
And that is it. So Weiser comes up with a good round there as he controls the entire pace of it, keeping the aggression up, landing a couple shots here and there. Let's take a look at the replay. Right here, Weiser just continues to elbow down, trying to create space. Those shots alone is going to score him the points. And of course, controlling the entire matchup on the ground.
Yeah, there's a very good possibility if he keeps landing elbows like that, he's going to split him open.
I would imagine as we enter round two, we probably see Weiser taking it to the ground. Stick around, the action continues here at King of the Cage. And welcome back as we head off into round two. You ready? You ready? Wait! Alejandro Santiago taking on Eddie Weiser. Eddie Weiser in the red tape gloves and Alejandro Santiago in the blue tape gloves.
Santiago probably looking to improve, trying to gain a few more points on the stand-up here, hopefully trying to keep it up.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to try and do everything he can in his power. Weiser's probably going to just set up a takedown and just eliminate the chances of getting the knockout.
There it is.
Back to the ground. And Weiser looking to go back to work here. Now, to Alejandro Santiago's credit, he's been able to hold Weiser back at bay, avoiding any damage and whatnot.
Definitely against a ground guy like Weiser, you know, that's his strong suit. He's definitely defending well, you know, he's doing as much as he can, basically trying to prevent whatever shots he can, but Weiser's going to get in there eventually.
And Weiser will pass the full guard and end up in side control here. And probably going to work some key locks again from what we saw in the previous round. And Weiser continues to just smother Santiago. But to Santiago's credit, he's avoided any serious damage. Surprising more elbows haven't been thrown. But you can see Santiago just holding on and maintaining control from the bottom as well. Still taking some shots, though.
Yeah, Santiago managing to at least hold, a half guard at most points of the fight, but Weiser definitely favoring that side mount. Really making it easy for him to dig in, aggravate those wounds, keep landing in those elbows.
3 minutes, 7 seconds remains.
A couple of strong hits there.
And the entire fight has just been fought on the ground. It's just been very difficult for Santiago to get Weiser off of him. Weiser just showing hip control and balance, just continues to scramble around and go with the flow, and now he's on the other side of side control.
Yeah, Weiser definitely knows what he's doing. He looks like, he's planned, he's prepared for this fight. He knew how he was going to go about it, and he's trying to execute those plans. Successfully, I would say.
It's funny because Weiser's probably like, if it doesn't work on the left side, I'm going to go ahead and work on the right side.
Just slide back and forth.
Yeah, and it's starting to work for him. And this is starting to cause confusion for Santiago.
Really is. The change of positioning, he's just constantly in a new place. If that's compromised, he's going to move on, gets into a new location, land a couple strikes. If he gets stopped there, so on, rinse, wash, repeat.
Some of those are the nastiest elbows, is when there's no space for your head to go anywhere, and it just goes straight to the canvas from those elbows and the impact. And a lot of people, what they don't realize is this mat you've seen on the ground is only padded by maybe about 2-3 inches of cushion.
Sounds about right.
And when you get slammed, you're getting slammed in metal and wood.
Yeah.
That cushion really is irrelevant at that point. So those are things that guys need to be careful too when they take a slam as well. We've seen knockouts end. Kyle Angerman, perfect example of slamming his opponent recently to the mat and just getting knocked out. So like we were talking about, the head impact, Santiago's probably going to have a couple of headaches.
Oh, yeah.
When he wakes up in the morning. This round is almost coming to an end, but Weiser takes control of this entire round. Even with a minute remaining, I don't think Alejandro Santiago is going to be able to pull out the win.
Yeah, Santiago struggling to find a defense against this method. Weiser, it's going to keep working for him. If it's going to keep working for him every round, there's no reason why he shouldn't keep it up.
Again, we're here at the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino. One of the most beautiful places on earth when you look at those falls. But tonight, it's like a work of art for Weiser as he continues to just stay on the ground here and control. Ref has not stood it up. So this has been working for him, and in the minds of the judges, they're going to just see as Santiago's been smothered the entire 2 rounds thus far.
Yeah, Weiser really making sure to spread out, those occasional strikes. So just in time when the ref maybe the crowd's thinking maybe they should get stand up, land a couple more strikes, keep it going. Keeps that control, keeps it right where he wants it.
And looks like we're coming to an end here. Chapter 2 comes to a conclusion. Weiser finishes strong on top and leaves an exclamation mark on the end of that round. Santiago very frustrated, rightfully so. Let's take a look at the replay here. All these events unfolded in round 2. Santiago takes a hit, slips, barely dodges that high kick, but Weiser just uses that kick to come in and immediately take it to the ground where he is most comfortable. And basically the entire round would be on the ground as we head off into round 3. So a little bit of overtime for both of these fighters. But like I said, to Santiago's credit, he hasn't been easy to be put away at all. He's really making Weiser work for his win tonight.
There's another slam, but yes, he's a very durable, very tough fighter. Regardless of who he's going against, he's not going to make it easy.
Now I'm hoping the ref is going to just continue to stay on this action, make sure Weiser stays busy.
Yeah, we're seeing a noticeable pattern here. Weiser knows exactly what he's doing. He's going to exploit that same weakness every round whenever he can.
Weiser's in cruise mode. I mean, honestly, he could just sit back, have his little iced tea, throw a couple elbows, and chill out in the sun. And he's just staying busy. That's it. Enough to stay busy to where the ref isn't going to stand you up. And that's the strategy here tonight for Weiser, avoiding any of those devastating shots that Santiago is capable of.
It's been really working out for him, you know, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Trying to work those key locks again, but Santiago's not having it. Santiago really having a tough night tonight. Usually, in most of his bouts, I never really even see him on the ground. And even in this position, I think most of his opponents fall into the game of, I'm going to stand up with Santiago, I'm going to show him I got heavier hands. But Weiser's like, I'm not playing that game. You know, if I have to rough it out and grind my way into a win, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. And Weiser's just playing a smart fight tonight.
Yeah, he knows what he's comfortable with, and you have to understand as fighters, you know, you don't always want to go stand up, you know. You have to consider that the risk of you're going to be taking damage, you're going to be taking shots in the face, you know, it's all going to come back to you.
Yeah.
Really
and
taking
in the long run, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And Weiser's just like, man, you know, I'm sure a lot of fans that are out there going, this is not the most exciting fight. And they may be correct, but it is a smart fight. And Weiser's doing what he got to do. And look at him, he's winning impressively. Some fans want to just see blood. Sometimes a guy getting knocked down isn't enough. They want to see him just fall completely on his head. And it's safety first and foremost when it comes to these fighters. So,
you know, they're human beings, their bodies, you know, they can only they're only going to be able to endure so much.
I can only take one of these hits and then I'm crying like a baby in the corner. So,
definitely.
You know. Weiser staying busy, man. The ref is not standing him up at all. And I think Weiser's doing enough, but it's still questionable. I'm surprised he's in the half guard. It's not like he's really in a position of like full mount where the ref would be taking that away from him.
Yeah, Weiser's ground speed is just, you know, it's too far ahead of Santiago's. You know, Santiago tries to shrimp out continually. He's trying to, you know, get out. He's doing the right thing, which obviously is probably feeding into that frustration. It's just Weiser's speed and his experience in the ground game is what's keeping him on top.
Yeah, I was expecting some boos, but you have not heard that tonight. And one reason being is the fans out here, obviously educated here at the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino. Always an educated crowd when they come out. When they see stuff like this, they're like, hey, man, do what you got to do to get that W.
Santiago's starting to really show for some of those elbows.
You can hear the corner calling for a crucifix. But Santiago's made that very difficult. We got a little bit of blood coming out, and I believe those are from the elbows of Weiser.
Yeah, Weiser definitely favoring those elbows over any punches or kicks. But they're definitely, you know, elbows dangerous. They're going to do more damage than your average punch if you're just ground and pounding, body shots, you know. Those are sharp, sharp hits to the eye.
Trying to grind his way into a victory here tonight. He's got 45 seconds left. All he's got to do is just stay busy. The chance of this getting stood up could be very bad if given the chance to Santiago, but Santiago's just got to be exhausted. I mean, you got this guy smothering you the entire round, all this weight, having to constantly defend all these little punches. Frustration to say the least.
Yeah, Santiago just really doing everything he can, but, you know, you win some, you lose some. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Weiser, you know, came into this, looked a little more well-prepared, knew what he was going to do.
And the final seconds remain here in round 3. Santiago finally able to reverse things, but just a little too late.
Fighter till the end.
And that's it. What a war.
Nothing but respect.
Santiago's just like, man, I'm glad you're off my back. Get out of here. So much work. Let's take a quick look at the replay, some of the highlights of this round.
Just seeing that same pattern we've been seeing from Weiser for, you know, the duration of the match. Immediately going for those early takedowns and then staying on the ground, staying dominant in that side mount, dropping elbows constantly.
Kept Santiago guessing with all those key locks. From a key lock, he goes to a body shot. From the body shot, he goes to the head. Short elbows. I mean, he really mixed it up.
Really making sure to stay busy, you know, which led into that ref not standing it up.
Keeping your opponent guessing. You throw it to the cage for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of light heavyweight action here in the Empire State, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Chris Belinsky scores this contest 30-25, while judges Paul O'Brien and Dave Bruce score it 30-26, all 3 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Eddie Chaos Weiser. Ladies and gentlemen, from the sensational Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, Niagara Falls, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the junior welterweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Todd Anderson. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, official weight 159.4 pounds. He represents Crow's Nest MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Appalachian, New York, presenting Vince the Common Man, Ciatoli. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 9 inches tall, official weight 160.8 pounds. He represents WNY MMA and Fitness. Ladies and gentlemen, from Buffalo, New York, presenting Anthony Bubba Norton.
And here we go, Vince Ciatoli set to take on Anthony Bubba Norton. Anthony Norton, known for his heavy hands, known for his takedown defense as well. Just an all-around, well-rounded fighter. Good to see him back in the cage. Vince Ciatoli, a very tough fighter for Anthony. And Anthony knows that getting this guy out of the way will definitely catapult him into closer realm of the title. But as for now, it's all about getting through Vince.
Fighter squaring up, measuring it out. Oh, throwing some strikes, exchanging. Oh,
Anthony
heavy hit.
Able to drop Ciatoli real quick. And now going into autopilot with the takedown. You see that a lot when you see a wrestler take a quick hit, immediately shoots in for a takedown. It just autopilot kicks in and bam. But right now he's giving up his back to Anthony Norton.
Norton really staying on top of it, staying active, trying to stay in control, getting those hooks in deep early.
Now trying to roll over here, Vince Ciatoli.
Managing to twist it around.
Looks like Anthony's trying to pull up a high guard here. Little grapple fest going on between these two. A little scramble.
Ciatoli looking to improve that position.
And you gotta love the grip that Norton has on him, not giving him any space to posture up, to throw any hits.
Definitely.
Just hugging him like a bear. And there's just no room for Ciatoli to go anywhere. It's like a Ziploc bag or something. Just stuck. Now starting to break free.
Ciatoli still managing to land in those strikes, though, you know.
Yeah, Ciatoli's like, I'm going to get some kind of shot in here.
Got to get something.
And now the ball is in the court of Anthony Norton.
Norton keeping the pressure into the fence, using that good weight distribution.
Norton's the kind of guy that will wear you out, man. He will just constantly apply pressure. He will smother you. He will make you wish you never got in the cage with him when you're like, dude, why do I have to have this Anthony Norton backpack on me all day long?
Yeah, definitely making it a frustrating fight for his opponents. You know, they're really going to try to look for any way they can break out of it, but he is just everywhere, they're not expecting him to be.
Yeah, he'll take the emotional value out of your entire system. He just sucks the life out of you. He's a very strong individual, and you're seeing that right here as he controls the back of Siatoli. And it looks like Siatoli is starting to spin around, and we are back with a nice reversal.
Siatoli going to try to maneuver into a full mount here.
A little over 1 minute and 57 seconds remains.
Ooh, some consecutive gut shots there. Definitely not soft hits. Siatoli definitely looking to land as many strikes as he can, as it seems like that's the only way he's going to be racking up points right now. You know, Norton really dominating that ground game, keeping him locked in.
More shots by Siatoli. Anthony says, get away from me.
I'm sure Siatoli's looking to stand it back up, just trying to land as many strikes as he can. But Norton keeping it locked down.
More shots delivered by Vince, and Vince working from the half guard here.
Siatoli really putting in a good effort and making this situation work for him. You know, he's pegging in points. He's keeping it fairly even, you know, with trying to exchange as many strikes in between Norton's taking of his back.
And we've seen Norton grow as a fighter here continuously. Every time he gets in the cage, he continues to improve his MMA game. And tonight, man, this is a very calm Norton. This is a different type of fighter than we're used to. Taking his time, not rushing into things, sustaining the situation when he has to. But now Vince is able to land a couple of shots from this position. And whether those hurt or not, they are scoring points in the minds of the judges.
Yeah, definitely, you know, soft hits or hard hits, they're eventually going to start feeling it if he can land as, you know, as many as he keeps doing.
Yeah, those points start racking up too. If this does go the distance, they will help you. And right now, trying to pick that ankle.
Fighting for some locks.
Both fighters in a stalemate position.
Very suspenseful situation. You know, those ankle locks are extremely dangerous. Twisted, you know, just, saved by the bell.
I've yet to see both fighters tap out at the same time from that. I've seen double knockouts. I've seen just about everything in the cage, but that. One day we'll see it happen. But right here, a quick look at the replay. Anthony Norton fighting a really good fight. He's able to back up, able to sustain the situation when he was on the ground, as he really gave Siatoli not much room to really throw any shots or land shots.
But when given a chance, Siatoli really, you know, taking advantage of it, trying to make those shots count.
And here was that, you know, ankle lock-a-war is what I would probably call that. Here we go, round two. It's been a pretty active fight on the ground, I should say. Norton backs up. Siatoli just coming in with some fury. Now with the takedown and defending it is Norton.
Yeah, Siatoli knowing he's winning the strike game, you know, he's going to stick to that. He knows it's what it's good for. He's landing decent shots, you know, he's weakening up in his opponent, but Norton sinking it down to the ground and stopping all that movement.
You know, Norton is the guy you want in your corner. Like, if you're walking down an alley, you hope that guy shows up like a superhero. I mean, honestly, that's the guy you would want walking down the alley with you, because he feels no pain. He's like that.
Definitely.
He's like the Zohan almost, man.
Yeah, he's
feels no pain.
Sick any enemies you have and not going to let him go.
I'm sure he does, but man, he hides it very well. But right now, he's just fighting Vince off his back. Trying to get him off his back, of course, but Vince trying to lock in this rear naked choke, possibly.
Yeah, Siatoli's showing some good dominance, you know, finally taking Norton's back for once.
And Norton able to roll out of that. Nice little scramble.
Oh, sinks in.
Again.
And RNC, it's deep.
And spins out of that. Getting out of harm's way, but man, Vince is just not letting up. Every chance he gets, he's sinking that rear naked choke in. And Anthony's doing a really good job of fighting it off.
Oh, and the switch to the back. Just like that, the tables get turned.
Right now, holding on to that shoulder. Oh, look at this. Almost like he was going to spin into an arm bar. And now gives up side control.
Norton doing a great job trying to push that arm away from Ciatoli, you know, not letting him throw any of those elbows. He's in a dangerous position. Ciatoli taking the back again.
Anthony Norton fighting it off for probably the 5th or 6th time here. It only takes one of those, but man, so far Norton's been pretty worthy of defending these as he continues to spin around. And here we go again for the full guard.
Yeah, talking about tasting his own medicine, Ciatoli really making Norton know that, hey, I could do the ground game too, and I could take your back as well.
Oh, man. Now taking shots from the back. Norton got to cover up.
Continual hits, not defending.
Trying to flatten Norton out. Norton is able to roll out of it, but still leaves his head exposed and taking some major elbows. Elbows, more damage being delivered by Ciatoli.
Ciatoli really managing to just land as many strikes as he can. He's landing the important ones and slipping in when he drops his guard. At this point, things aren't looking super great for Norton. If he doesn't start posturing up, doesn't start blocking those hits, the ref may be forced to call it.
Take a couple more shots and it might just be over. If those are starting to break through, I think this could be close. Very close to ending.
This is looking
a minute to finish things off here.
Norton just struggling to defend from these hits. And the ref will call it.
Yeah, lots of blood coming out now. That's a great call by the ref. And you can see Norton's just a great sport. He has no problem with that stoppage. He's like, you know, I get to fight another day. Next time, it'll be another day. But tonight, it was just Ciatoli's night.
Yeah, Ciatoli seemed to really analyze the previous round, analyze his performance, and step up his game and win it, countering, knowing exactly what Norton's going to do and using that against him.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Todd Anderson has seen enough, steps in, calls a halt to this bout due to strikes. The official time, 4 minutes and 4 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by TKO, Vince the Common Man, Ciatoli. Ladies and gentlemen, from the sensational Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, Niagara Falls, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this special 5-round bout for the King of the Cage Women's Atomweight World Championship live on Facebook. Your judges, Chris Belinsky, Paul O'Brien, and David Bruce. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Steve Ward. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 4 inches tall, official weight 104.4 pounds. She represents 6 MMA and has an 11-6 combined MMA and Muay Thai record. Ladies and gentlemen, from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, presenting the challenger, Melissa Magic Karajanis. Her opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 3 inches tall. Official weight, 105.8 pounds. She represents the Karate Mafia. Record, 5 victories, 3 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Bossier City, Louisiana, presenting the reigning and defending King of the Cage Women's Atomweight World Champion, Andy the Krazy Wynn. Once again, your referee of this 5-round championship bout, Steve Ward, now with the final instructions.
Okay, ladies, we went over the rules in the back. Expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do so now. Back to your corners.
And here we go. The atomweight title is on the line. Andy Wynn defending her title for the second time as she gets set to take on Melissa Karagiannis. Karagiannis with some great stand-up skills actually defeated Andy Wynn in their first pro fight.
Yeah,
couple
actually
years
was
ago.
the first person to, as said by Andy, was the first person to cut her open, actually.
And tonight, Melissa is looking to steal the title, and Andy Wynn's looking to steal back a little bit of vengeance.
Yeah, these are two very explosive, very tough, hard-hitting fighters, you know. And they're both willing to go to the distance, and they have the capabilities to do so.
Andy Wynn taking the back of Melissa Karagiannis. This could be one of those fights that last 5 rounds, no problem. Both fighters have cardio. Both fighters are willing to stand in the pocket, take a couple hits to get their hits in.
Yeah, as we've seen from some of Andy Wynn's past fights, particularly versus Wynn, we know that she can go the distance. We know that she can go and bang for 5 whole rounds and still be ready to go.
Andy Wynn continues to take the back of Melissa Karagiannis. Giannis just trying to defend this rear naked choke attempt. But we know that Andy Wynn is a very well-rounded fighter. She's finished fights on the feet, on the ground. So anywhere, she's really a threat. But Karagiannis, I'd have to say her bread and butter is her stand-up, and that's where she'd rather be. I just never see her fights really go to the ground.
Yeah, it'll really be a
test. But look at this.
here.
As I say that, she rolls things and reverses it with a nice little sweep. Now looking to posture up and deliver some damage.
Karagiannis managing to overpower her opponent in little bits.
And this says a lot about Karagiannis. Anytime Andy gets in there, she's overpowering her opponents and just literally pushing them where she wants them at.
You know, dominating the match, usually dominating the stand-up. But she's definitely meeting a very hard match here. You know, with the belt on the line, Karagiannis got some extra motivation. She really wants this. You know, she's going to do whatever it takes to take it.
Karagiannis going to get an opportunity to get on her feet here. And this is exactly where Giannis wants to be. Andy Wynn takes a shot to the dome, but gets an outside leg kick.
Nguyen always showing a great display of combos, you know, very well practiced, keeps on a routine.
Yeah, her striking ability you've seen improve through every fight.
Definitely.
You go back to the fight of her and Santiago when they got in the cage. I mean, her striking was great then, but now it's just a little more crisp, more precise, landing, just more precision behind those hits.
Yeah, really a fighter that shows some great, you know, visible improvement every fight.
Coming in with some combinations, takes a shot for her efforts.
Karagiannis staying solid as a rock, not letting anybody break her defense. She's staying strong, throwing strong jabs, meeting anything that Andy could dish back at her.
And looking for that takedown is Andy Wynn. Karagiannis with a great takedown defense. Andy Wynn looks like she's going to deliver some knees here.
Very fair, even matchup here. You know, two of arguably, you know, some of the best, strongest stand-up games we have with our female fighters here at King of the Cage.
And the nice outside leg trip for Andy Wynn. Andy Wynn looking to posture up. Throw some elbows, and now holding on to that arm is Karagiannis with a nice sweep. Now looking to posture up and throw some shots of her own. And that, just like that, we're coming to the conclusion of round one. Andy Wynn staying aggressive as well as both fighters. Let's take a look at the replay here. Some of the highlights of this stand-up war between these two.
Both fighters really displaying their strengths, you know. They're matched in stand-up, seem to be matched in ground game. They're both, you know, trading off, switching spaces.
And here we go, round two. Atomweight title is on the line, the women's atomweight title to be exact. Andy Wynn defending it, and Melissa Karagiannis looking to take it. Now Karagiannis has a win over Andy Wynn, and I know that Andy Wynn would want nothing more than being able to avenge that loss. Little redemption tonight is on the line, and defending her title. So lots at stake between these two.
Karagiannis starting to show a little more impressive stand-up game. Landing those heavy hits. It's like both fighters just start their combos, and it's really just a matter of who's going to land that first hit, who's going to break through the other's form.
Andy Wynn continues to work Karagiannis up against the cage, looking for that single leg, and she's going to get it. And this is probably a very good place for Andy Wynn to keep it. Not that Andy Wynn doesn't have stand-up skills, because she obviously does, but, you know, giving that puncher's chance up when you have skills in other departments of MMA, you just got to go with what works and not take the risk, especially when you're the champ.
Especially with a fighter, you know, against someone like as strong as Karagiannis, you know, you're going to have to just go with the flow and make do with whatever the situation is presented. Sticking to, you know, too much of the same thing could possibly end up with, you know, get you with the loss.
And continuing to work from side control. Andy Wynn looked like she's trying to utilize a key lock here on the arm, possibly setting up a crucifix to pin her opponent down. Taking the breath out of Karagiannis.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a guillotine with your leg.
Yeah, really utilizing that form. You know, I mean, really vulnerable position for Karagiannis to be in, exposing the body shots of all kinds. There's nothing she can really do to fight against it unless she could break out of this hold.
Now rolling out. Great job done by Karagiannis, with some excellent technique being displayed by Andy Wynn.
She'll definitely rack up some points for that.
I'm sure Karagiannis just wants to break free from this and start letting those hands go, but man, gets taken down, and now Andy working the guillotine. So far, it's been a really tough battle for Karagiannis. Seems as though Andy Wynn is controlling this first two rounds.
Yeah, Andy Wynn noticeably in a lot of her fights, you know, she's always dominating that early fight if she doesn't win early, but we'll see how it carries on into the later rounds if it does. Because Andy can, you know, we all know that she can last that long too, and she'll keep going just as strong, so it's really going to be a test of performance to Karagiannis.
Andy Wynn continues to work from the full guard. He's got the high guard rolling here. Karagiannis is trying to break free.
Trying to work that arm bar. Karagiannis fighting it off.
The armbar is seeming to be another one of Andy Nguyen's favorites, as we've seen in her previous matches before. She's always trying to sink that in and land it.
Right here, she's not out of the woods quite yet, but Karagiannis is trying to break that arm free, and now she's going to get an opportunity to go back to a safe zone.
A little over a minute remains here in round 2. And so far, it's been Andy Nguyen's round, and Karagiannis knows she has to kind of turn things around, start being the aggressor, start throwing some more shots, get it back to the feet where she's most comfortable, and make it happen.
Karagiannis getting some good positioning here on Nguyen. Starting to finally get some advantage and dominating on that ground, getting the switch. Trying to maneuver into full mount.
Karagiannis gets pushed back to the full guard. And it just doesn't seem as though Karagiannis really wanted to get back to her feet quite yet. I'm not quite sure, but it seems as though that's where she's really most dominant. But now she's dominating with a little ground and pound action here.
Karagiannis looking to keep him up. Saved by the end of the bell.
Great finish by Karagiannis, but Andy Nguyen probably still takes round 1 and 2 just based on controlling and keeping the aggression up alone. Let's take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, Karagiannis really landing the majority of the shots in the early stand-up, but as we saw, it immediately got taken back down to the ground. And once it got taken to the ground, Andy Nguyen just, for the most part, stayed in the dominant position.
Right here, several shots, several exchanges. Andy Nguyen eventually just changes elevation, able to take it to the ground, and like you said, controls it there. Well, we head off into round 3. The women's atomweight title is on the line. Andy Nguyen defending that title. And of course, Melissa Karagiannis trying to take the title. Here we go.
One thing I'll always notice about female fighters, they seem to have more of a tendency to last a lot longer in the fighting round, in the long rounds, than I see in the male fighters. They can keep going, they keep 100% of that power, that action, and energy.
And you usually see a lot more aggression, these fighters getting the opportunity to showcase their skills here on national television, and also a chance at the title too. But the female division has just been continuing to grow here at King of the Cage. And we've always supported the women's division. We've actually one of the first organizations to even have females fighting in the cage. And there was a time maybe 10 years ago where it was really hard to find a replacement for some of these fighters. If somebody lost, did cut weight or somebody got injured, it was a lot more difficult to replace fighters than it is today. But it's just good to see it continue to grow throughout the years.
Karagiannis managed to drop it in some heavy hits on Nguyen. Nguyen trying to lock in that armbar again, as we saw in this past round.
Trying to hold on to that armbar as Karagiannis trying to break free from it, and Andy Nguyen just trying to execute it. Flipping underneath, grabbing that arm. Karagiannis knows she has to pull the arm out. She needs to get right back to her feet and start throwing some shots again.
Really seeing a true battle for strength here. Just both fighters pushing as hard as they can, trying to break the other.
And every time it's gone to the ground, you see that Andy Nguyen's able to control it. And Giannis just finds herself in some pretty bad situations. But definitely needs to get back on her feet.
Yeah, Nguyen, she's a very flexible, very nimble fighter, especially on the ground. She's able to wrap her legs around any position she tries to get it in. Swing around as we've seen a lot in the past rounds.
2 minutes, 34 seconds remains. Now, Melissa Karagiannis delivering some nice elbows. Says, you know what? I got to score some points back.
Nguyen looking like she's starting to struggle a little bit this round with the ground game. Karagiannis seeming to learn from the past few rounds and really trying to use it to her advantage. Dropping in those heavy elbows, landing definitely some more strikes this round. Faring a lot better on the ground.
1 minute, 48 seconds remains. Now Melissa throwing some nice elbows, starting to deliver some damage here.
Ooh, Nguyen just not being able to defend against those open strikes.
Yeah, Andy Nguyen on the bottom here, just in a little bit of trouble. Things kind of reversed. Good job of deflecting some punches there.
In the fighting game, it's all about adaptation and adapting to your opponents, especially in these rounds that go the distance, for something as big as a title. Oftentimes the fighter who's able to learn from his opponent, adapt, and make changes, really dominate, switch it around, and use it against him, those are the ones who are going to move on.
Melissa may have changed things in this round towards the end. If she continues to stay strong like this, she could possibly squeeze this round out. Now really starting to score some points. Oh, knees to the body.
Karagiannis not sparing any power in these hits.
Trying to possibly pull off a crucifix by holding that arm down. I must misjudged her on her ground game because look at this. Karagiannis has turned things around so quick. And usually when fights start out where one guy's controlling it on the ground over the other opponent, it usually never reverses like this. And look at this. Karagiannis is just coming back very strong.
Definitely seems as though she's got a new win, This is a newfound match. It's really anybody's game at this point, round 3. Moving to round 4, she's looking to improve.
Gets in the full mount, finishing strong. Karagiannis with some nice shots. I think she may have just won that round. Just completely feel like she robbed Andy Nguyen of that win. No pun intended. Here we go. Quick replay of this round. Starts out on the feet. Andy Nguyen takes it to the ground. We thought that Andy was going to control the majority of that fight, but it didn't happen that way. Towards the end, final half, Karagiannis just something turned on, the light bulb turned on, and it just started working for her.
Yeah, just started to see that swing.
And here we go, round 4. Atomweight title is on the line. It's been a long fight for both of these fighters. The atomweight champion in the women's division is Andy Nguyen, who is defending her title against Melissa Karagiannis here at Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino.
Some new life we see being bred into this match. In that last round, especially during the last half, Karagiannis really getting a second win, sprouting off, and showing that she may turn the tide of the fight.
Yeah, it's incredible. The first 2 rounds, Karagiannis was getting controlled on the ground, and then she started to control things on the ground. And it usually doesn't happen that way. It just looks like, one person's dominating on the ground, but not Karagiannis. Look at these. She's just going to come in with some heavy shots now.
Yeah, Karagiannis looking unfazed. She's not looking fatigued. She's looking great, staying light on her toes, continually throwing those heavy strikes. Determined for that win.
And the thing is with Karagiannis, you got to keep her at bay because if she comes in, no shot's going to stop her from landing a couple shots that might just land on your chin within milliseconds. So it's a very dangerous fight for Andy.
Karagiannis really showing to break through, Andy Nguyen's offense and defense, especially in a stand-up game. Her hits are just penetrating past the wins.
Both fighters now turning this into a stand-up war in round 4. They said enough of the ground game, enough of the appetizers, let's go for the main course. As both fighters continue to slug it out. Now getting worked up against the cage, they clinch up.
Noticing a slight loss in speed with Nguyen. Seems the fatigue is starting to affect her a little more than Karagiannis.
Yeah,
Karagiannis looks like she still has a lot of energy left. And that's incredible after Andy Wynn has been able to like control her on the ground. First 2 rounds, but then of course, round 3, that's where things turned around for Karagiannis.
Yeah, she really seems unfazed, really unmoved. Has not stopped her or halted her from moving forward.
And it's a good start because this gives her good motivation. You know, it just being able to score in round 3 was the tiebreaker. So if she continues this persistence, she has an opportunity to win this fight if it does go the distance at this point. But obviously, if it just started here at round 4, she would have to go for the finish. And at this point, she can really just methodically fight it out, take her time, make every shot count. But you could see her left eye starting to swell up from all those kicks.
Yeah, really anybody's game here. The wind's starting to seem a little winded, but both fighters obviously, you know, 4th round, 5-minute rounds, you know, it's a tough fight.
Absolutely.
Getting a chance to catch their breath a little bit here.
Shots from the top.
Oh.
Now an arm bar.
Again, a turn of the tables.
Whoa! Can Karagiannis pull this off? Andy Wynn fighting it off. 2 minutes to stay busy here. Andy Wynn's doing a good job of kind of rolling into it and then rolls right out. Great escape by Andy Wynn.
Karagiannis right back on top of it as soon as she breaks position, you know, going right back in, dominating.
Terry Trebilcock Jr., who went on a search for some of the best female fighters in the world of MMA in the United States, was able to sign on Karagiannis, Andy Wynn, as well as B. Wynn, and Kelly Villarino. The list goes on. Nico Montano, who recently has moved on as well. Cynthia Arceo, another one in the mix that we will be seeing in the near future as well.
Oh, definitely someone to look out for.
But these fights just continue to get better and better. And right now, Karagiannis controlling the ground. Who would have thought from the looks of round 1 and 2? I can say that I was being very judgmental.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You know, just shows you can never be too certain because things can change in an instant.
Karagiannis looking to stay busy. 54 seconds. This round could possibly go to her as well.
Andy Wynn not giving up, though. She's still going to make it hard. She's not going to make it easy. She knows she's not going to give up. She will keep fighting hard until the 5th round if it goes that long.
40 seconds remains. Can Karagiannis pull off the victory tonight and be crowned the new atomweight champion in the women's division? We are 1 round, just a little over 1 round away from finding that answer out or less. But right now, Karagiannis is really stacking up the points. The atomweight title is on the line in the women's division. Andy Wynn defending that title. Melissa Karagiannis in the blue gloves right there trying to take it, who possesses a victory over Andy Wynn, who fought a couple years ago. So this is in their first meeting. Karagiannis has a win over Andy Wynn, and Andy Wynn is trying to get some redemption here tonight and also defend her title. But taking some shots, Andy Wynn.
Here in round 5, really looking like anybody's game at this point. You know, Karagiannis really turning it around at the halfway point, and it looks like the last 2 rounds could have gone to her.
And this is where records are so deceiving. You know, you look at Andy Wynn's record, you look at Karagiannis' record, and on paper, you just kind of see how her fights end up. And you would think that on paper, Andy Wynn may have a slight advantage over Karagiannis, but that is not the case. And it's, again, you cannot judge a book or judge the papers, the stats, because look at Karagianis, man. She's just improved in couple fights, and now she's starting to control this fight.
Yeah, it's always a bonus, too, when these two fighters, obviously they've met before, they've fought before, they at least know a little bit about each other's styles. You know, Karagianis definitely probably did some research, you know, looking to improve, learning from her last match. You know, she managed to pull off that last win she's had against Andy Nguyen, so she is capable of it.
Yeah, and the thing about MMA is, you know, fighters just improve. Sometimes fighters improve by 100% with just one fight. You know, it really all depends on each fighter, but sometimes you got to think about it like this. If a fighter only has fought 30 seconds per fight, you have somebody else who's fought the distance, well, obviously the other person's going to have a little more experience in the cage time.
Yeah, experience definitely becomes a huge factor, as you always see, you know, especially in a sport like this where it's a constant learning process, so many styles involved.
And everybody brings their unique style to the cage. You know, there's obviously the moves that you'll learn, you know, some of the foundation of MMA, but you know, putting it all together is kind of an art, and that's how some of these fighters see it. And I'd say probably the majority of fighters see it. It's an art. 2 minutes, 52 seconds remains, and as I say that, Andy Nguyen is starting to control things against the cage. This could be a very close fight, but I think things are starting to turn around in the favor of Karagianis.
Yeah, the stakes are very high, you know, Nguyen, knowing that this is the 5th round, and after watching how the last 3 rounds she's fared, you know, she's got to know in her head that she's got to bust out all the stops if she's going to win this round.
And we are coming down to the final seconds of round 5. 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Atomweight title is on the line. Will there be a new champion crowned tonight? Can Karagianis become that new champion, or is Andy Nguyen going to defend it? Andy Nguyen looking very exhausted, though, as well as both fighters.
So far this round looking like a stalemate. Both fighters just pushing whatever they can, landing a lot of those heavy knees. But I'm sure the fatigue is really setting in for both fighters. I mean, they're doing a great job at not showing it, definitely.
Yeah. More knees being delivered by Andy Nguyen. The final minutes remain here. Just a little over a minute. Now giving up her back. Andy Nguyen. Karagianis trying to take the back. And this is an opportunity for her to finish this round strong. This could possibly be the fight right here. The defining moment of this matchup. If Karagianis is able to posture up, she has a minute to go to work to land several shots.
Last points, you know, anything that she can get on top of Nguyen.
Now taking the full mounted position. This is very bad, especially up against the cage.
Karagianis getting closer and closer to opening up for strikes.
Oh, here we go. Karagianis delivering some nasty elbows.
It's always amazing to see, you know, fighters fight with such ferocity, such, you know, explosiveness this late, you know, in the game. Near 25 minutes of straight fighting, you know, with only short breaks in between.
So exhausting. This is going to be up in the air, but I'd have to say this is in favor of possibly Karagianis. Some nice shots.
She's definitely started proving herself from these last 10 fights. It's going to be very close.
Now, they say to beat the champion, you really have to defeat him, and you know what? I'd say this is a pretty close fight. The answer, the decision when we return.
Judge Paul O'Brien scores this bout 48-46. Chris Belinsky 48-47. And finally, David Bruce 49-45 for your winner by unanimous decision and new King of the Cage Women's Atomweight World Champion, Melissa Magic Karagianis. I am with the new King of the Cage Atomweight Women's World Champion, Melissa Magic Karajanis. It was a tough fight through 5 rounds. 20 seconds of that 5th and final round really put you in the lead. How do you assess your performance tonight?
Wow, like, I trained really, really hard for this. I'm just so happy that King of the Cage gave me this opportunity.
Well, you certainly rock, and congratulations. Our new King of the Cage Women's Atomweight World Champion is Melissa Magic Karajanis. The title now goes north up into Canada.